I purposely got us really good mugs, everybody. Hi, I think we're live. I gave you the beaver mug because everybody always wants an update on beavers. And I gave myself this time the Historic Houses brand new mug, the association that we belong to, that I think many of you are members of as well. And it has different sort of historic houses on here that were supposed to be quite generic, but you can kind of make some of them out, in particular Pitchford.
And it's also got some historic house iconography.
Yes, it does.
For example, a cedar tree and indeed a peacock.
Yeah.
Now, I remember peacocks at Mapperton. Did you know that we have peacocks here? You probably didn't know that.
Can we bring them back, please?
I'm trying to remember what they were called.
What?
One was called Marmaduke. We had a peacock called Marmaduke.
What?
Marmaduke didn't last very long because I think the foxes got him. But they used to leave the most magnificent feathers around.
I know.
The only problem was they make a hell of a racket.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, a real...
It's like screeching. Yeah, screeching sound.
And the male peacocks, when they put all their feathers up, look rather terrific.
Well,
anyway, welcome to yet another Spill the Tea here with Julie and me at Mapperton. And today we've got a bunch of updates. Julie has got a dissertation update. She's got a...
There's always a dissertation update.
There's always a dissertation update.
But this time could be one of my last, not quite last, but second to third to last, probably second to last update. I think everybody's going to be really excited about it. Should I start?
You know, I'm going to be really excited if it is truly a second to last update. Because you have been working on it for so long.
Last night I worked on it for 6 hours. You were out. He had a long night last night.
Yeah, I'm a bit worried about your microphone.
Oh, all right. There we go. We'll fix that. We'll fix that.
Let's just make sure that
you can hear me.
She's not making rustling noises.
Okay.
There you go. That's much better. Because your dissertation has been an absolute labour of love. You've loved it, but it has also been a lot of labour.
Yeah.
And maybe that labour is coming to the end.
So shall I give everybody an update?
Give everybody an update. Why don't we do that?
And then do we want to go, are we kind of going to go through our list? Those of you who are just viewing in, maybe we kind of go through what we're going to talk about so people are interested. That's actually a good idea.
Well, we've got
talk
various
about my
things
dissertation.
We've started our planning process for next year, so we've been thinking really hard about what things we're going to add, what things we're going to subtract for next season.
We'll talk about that.
We've got you've got some tapestry updates, I think.
We've got our Christmas fair coming up in a month. We've Christmas market, Christmas fair, whatever country you're from.
I've got a little bit of a dear.
Oh dear. That's why he was gone last night.
No, I meant to say duck, actually. I keep confusing animals beginning with D. I have got both a deer update and a duck pond update, so we can deal with those.
Yep. And
you've got a channel update, haven't you?
I have a channel update. Do you have a channel update?
Not my channel update isn't as exciting as your channel update, but I'm getting there.
And I have an update on, which you'll see a longer version of on the conservation workshop that I recently went to, but I filmed there. So that's very, very exciting. So yeah, and I've got a Samuel Pepys update and a Huntingdon Historical Society update, which we filmed for you all, a longer version, but I'm going to give you updates. So I'm going to start with dissertation. I'm just going to make it really short, everybody. We're going to go through this whole list. Dissertation, so how it works is I had to fill out something called an intention to submit. I filled that out, that I'm intending to submit. I then also had to fill out something that actually says I do not accept that my dissertation is to be published. Because I am using archives that are private archives, and I will be, of course, writing a book several books, hopefully, about Alberta and her life, and therefore I can't give my dissertation into the public, put it into the public domain until that book is written. I'm sure all of you understand. So, intent to submit has been submitted. I have submitted my first chapter, which then goes to the head of humanities at the university I'm at. He checks that through. We'll probably come back with some comments, hopefully not too many. And then once that happens, I'm well on my way. So my course tutor has found an internal examiner as well as an external examiner. You have to have both. And once I get feedback from the head of humanities, I then have about 5 to 6 weeks if I need to massage something a little bit more. And then I hit click and send.
Wow, that will be a big moment. Champagne corks will be flying across
they will be.
the table.
They will be.
And all sorts of celebrations. We will be ringing the church bells. We will be standing on the rooftops and celebrating.
I will be ringing the church bell here that we have in the church. Am I allowed to do that? Last time I rang it was for the Queen's...
As long as there's a service.
The death of the Queen.
Or some other national event. You did do that, didn't you? I think you were quite a good bell ringer.
I was. Yes.
Now, you've also been working on something else today. You were talking about books, but there are things we can't quite yet reveal. Is that right?
That's right. Well, we can kind of...
What can you hint at?
So basically today we had a meeting about the coffee table-ish book. In fact, I can show you the size of the book that I'm writing about Mapperton. I can't say the title.
No, but have you even told people this? Do people know?
We did.
We did, okay.
Did we?
I don't know.
I can't remember. Oh, yeah. I'm writing a book on Mapperton. I got commissioned to write a book about Mapperton, which is very exciting. It'll be this size, exactly this size, actually. It's going to be 50,000 words and 300 photos.
Now, how long was your dissertation?
25,000.
So hang on a second.
Double.
You've now got to write a book that is twice as long as your dissertation.
This is literally the size of the book. I wonder if this is by the same publisher. It's 200. It will be 200 and 56 pages, not including sort of end notes.
That is going to be a lot of writing. I hope the deadline isn't anytime soon.
So the book is about Mapperton. I'm really excited. I was commissioned by quite a well-known publisher. Not necessarily the best timing because of my dissertation, but I couldn't say no. And we start shooting for these lovely photographs that will be in the Mapperton book in January. We have our first shoot date. So we met with the photographer today, who's a family friend. And and I have to have everything in 50,000 words, 300 photographs in by next September 2025. And the book will then be released in 2026, but they'll do like pre-orders. So, yeah.
You've got a year to write a book that is twice as long as your thesis, along with everything else that you're doing. I don't know what I think about that, except that it's going to be quite a challenge.
I'm going to start writing it over the Christmas holidays. That's my plan. So, and many of you will be asking, like, when, as I mentioned, when is it coming out? When can I get a copy? And again, it'll come out in 2026, but we are starting to do more talks in America. And so we have been invited, so it's been announced. I don't think we could announce this last time, is that we are the guest speakers at the Wilcox Historical Society big event. They have it once a year, and it's in Camden, Alabama. Tickets go on sale. Anybody can come. Tickets go on sale December 1st. You and I are speaking there. We're so excited. But I've never been to Alabama.
You've never been to Alabama?
No.
I'm
so excited.
Even I've been to Alabama.
What?
Admittedly, I was on the way to Florida from New Orleans, but so it doesn't really count.
Right.
But really looking forward to seeing the great state of Alabama.
We're so excited.
And really looking forward to meeting everybody at the Wilcox Historical Society.
Yeah, so it's the 21st of March is when we'll be giving, I guess it's called the keynote speech, or, the
So wait a minute, we're going to write a book.
We're going to America.
We're going to write a speech as well.
Yeah, you and I together. Can you imagine?
All the slides for that.
This is going to be live, everybody. What you're seeing here, this is going to be live on stage at the Wilcox Historical Society in Camden, Alabama. There you go. And that is March 21st. So do put it in your diary, but tickets do go on sale. They get sold out, so it's not just unlimited amounts of tickets. They go on sale on Eventbrite. I saw this on their Instagram account on the 1st of December.
Are you going to do a link? At some point?
At some point, once the tickets go live.
Yeah.
But that's exciting. That's our first big...
That is very exciting. And it means we're coming to America.
So excited.
And we're going to go down to Florida. We're going
to visit family. Yeah. And we're going to take a little holiday in America.
I am looking forward to swimming on that wonderful seashore that you have in that part of Florida. The sand is white.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Where my sister lives is beautiful.
Can't wait. Anyway, so Julie, gosh, you're
not
short
Bye.
of things to do. Yeah, but that's just the beginning, isn't it? Because You've got more channels coming out as well.
Well, why don't you have a go? I'll sit back and sip my...
I simply can't keep up
my tea.
With Julie. How is your tea, by the way?
I did turmeric gold. It's very good.
Do you know what I've got for my tea? I have got hot water. Hot water is delicious.
It's very good for you.
You can really taste.
No,
it's got
good.
taste. Because it's Mapperton water, of course. So it's got all those wonderful Mapperton minerals, and it's probably been through various leaks and recycled back into the tanks.
Oh, okay.
So
Yum.
it's got that extra taste of
delicious.
Mapperton. So things that have been happening with me. Well, one of the things that we did this week was we kicked off our planning session for next season. So when we get to the end of a season, we look back and we say what's worked, what hasn't worked, what do we want to do differently for next year. And I think one of the things that is a recurring theme at Mapperton is the challenge of getting more people to visit.
Yes.
One of the great benefits of YouTube and our wonderful viewers and subscribers, and please, by the way, just if you haven't subscribed, please just press that button. It's really easy and it really helps.
Yeah.
But one of the great benefits has been that a number of you have actually come over to England and kindly come to see Mapperton. And indeed, when we're here, and we know that you're here, and usually people will say, I've come a long way and found out about it on the YouTube channel, Julie and I will come and find you and often have a cup of tea and wave and say hi and all those good things. So that's been one of the lovely things about this last year, is seeing more people coming as a result of the channel. But the truth is we're not getting enough day visitors, people coming in the daytime for a visit. Stubbornly, the number stays somewhere between 12 and 15,000 a year. You will have heard us talking about this if you've been watching this channel for a while. And no matter what we do, we build new play areas, we put on exhibitions, we have an artisan shop, we change the cafe. There's so many things that we've tried doing. And of course, we have all of the wonderful YouTube. It just doesn't move the dial very much in terms of those visitors. Now, there is some hope that next year we're going to get quite a good program going out on one of the main channels about Mapperton, and that can really boost things up. But other than that, we're sort of getting to the point where we're thinking, because of Mapperton's location, it's just got this built-in problem. We're so remote that we just can't attract enough people to come on a day visit. So if we can't get people for the day, let's get them for the night. Yep. So we've started a project looking at how we can integrate more overnight accommodation at Mapperton. So we've already got holiday cottages, wonderful holiday cottages. If you haven't checked them out, please do. You just go to mapperton.com/stay. And we've got 2 cottages there at the moment. We're just in the process of,
as you know,
renovating another one.
It's happening, everybody.
Next year, we hope to have our glamping back. So we have these wonderful bell tents, super luxury bell tents that you stay in.
We stayed.
Wasn't it fabulous?
It's one of the videos. Do check it out from a couple of years ago.
Those we hope will be coming back. And then in addition to that, we're looking at other things. We've just had a wonderful company come and visit us called Camp Wild. And they specialise in wild camping.
Yeah.
And that simply means that you have a what 3 words, i.e. a location that you go. Doesn't the nib sound fantastic?
Great.
It's got such a lovely tone to it, doesn't it? And you go on the platform, you pay a small amount, it's not expensive, and then that gives you directions to a wild place to pitch your tent. And then when you leave, you just take everything away with you. And we've got some wonderful, wonderful spots for people to come and camp.
It's true.
But we're looking at other things too. We're looking at converting other historic and redundant farm buildings, and we're also looking at opportunities for cabins and pods. Well, we've been doing this for a while, but this year I think it's going to start to get more serious. So that's all quite exciting. And in terms of things we're going to do differently next year to do with visitors, I think it's going to be much the same.
It's going to be much the same. I think we're going to try to get, last year we had around 40 group visits, and a group visit is usually around, sort of 20 plus. Yeah.
And they come in a coach.
Yeah, kind of big, and we've got a coach park. And so this year we'd really like to get that past 50. Yeah. And I think that there's a way that we can do that. We're very near the coast here, and one of the markets that we haven't tapped into has been sort of the cruises that come in and more at.
But you won't get those for next year.
No.
Because unless you're on their radar now, they're not going to be booking you for next year. It'll be for the year
after. Right.
But the cruise ships, absolutely. They go into Weymouth to Portland, which is very close to us here. It's a deep water port, so it can take really large cruise ships. And then they go off and they explore the British countryside with these what are called tour operators. So we've got to get in front of them.
Yes, we do.
We've also got to get in front of lots more who just bring groups of people, whether from historical societies or gardening clubs or any other special interest club. People love coming here as part of a group.
Yeah, they do.
That's one of your areas, I think, Julie, isn't it?
I had a meeting about that today.
You're
about
head of group
groups.
visits.
Yeah. So we'd like to get that.
Your many titles.
Yeah, and I like the group visits. And sometimes I've given a couple group tours when we've, somebody's been ill or whatever.
By the way, a bit of news I haven't told you about. Just yesterday, we had a Teams meeting, a video meeting with the local council, and they tell us that they are going to fix the road, the Coltley track.
No.
The road going up that has been unfortunately
in trouble,
in a state of disrepair due to a landslip, and it's been closed. Finally, they have a plan, and the plan is to create what we're calling the Coltley bypass.
Oh, okay.
Which sounds very grand, but it's
not.
actually just a little bit of extra road that's going to get tucked into the corner of the field. Anyway, that will be coming in an upcoming episode, so you can find out more.
And that's why we've been able to, I knew that this was sort of brewing, but now we've gotten the go-ahead. And because we knew that this was brewing, that's why we've started the renovation of Coltley Farmhouse.
Exactly, we need to get a move on with that because they might be doing that repair job as soon as this winter.
Exactly, so what we have next with that is I have my right-hand man, Malcolm, who has already booked in a date in the diary in November, and we will be filming that, and he will be coming and looking at sort of the color scheme, and we're going to keep the timber floors, and we'll be looking at different bits of furniture where we want to place it, and a lot of the soft furnishings as well. So we'll be looking at fabrics and colors, which is really, really fun for each of the rooms. Yeah.
Yeah, and tomorrow we're going to be walking around again, looking at possible ways to do the decoration. We're looking forward to working with people that we know well on that project, and we're looking forward to Julie getting in her boiler suit.
I will be.
And bringing out her paintbrush.
And
you're
the
giving me a boiler
sander.
suit for Christmas. Is that
Would you like one?
No, thank you.
Oh, because I do need some ideas. You sure?
Yeah.
I think I'm definitely
maybe
going to.
it would
What
have-
color?
it
Let me
would-
know. Comment down below.
It would have to be blue.
What color boiler suit should I get, Luke? Just comment
Bright
down below.
pink, surely.
No, let them decide.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I promise you, the majority will win.
What about black and white stripes?
I'm going to give it to our community.
Then I can look like I was
What color
escaped
boiler
from-
suit?
Chris, what do you think? Black and white stripes? Does that suit me?
What, like a prison book?
Yeah, an escapee, convict.
Oh my gosh,
Okay,
no.
right, bad idea. Right, moving swiftly on. Julie, you've been given a present, did you know?
Yes, and I'm going to film that tomorrow. So that is very kind, everybody, and that leads us
A
into...
local artist has given Julie a magnificent portrait of Quackers.
Yeah.
Quackers, it's
really
the
beautiful.
poor duck.
It's really beautiful. I mean, it's
you're
really
gonna-
well done.
And you're going
So-
to film more about that.
Thank you. So that is going to be on an upcoming episode in the next couple of weeks, everybody. So I'll be filming about that, and then you'll be filming a little bit more about the pond.
Have I spoken about the pond yet? No. So we have had great success with the Quackers Memorial
Pond Fund. If you're
Pond
interested
Fund.
in this, your first time tuning in, details down below.
You see, you're finishing my sentences.
Oh.
There are people, not a huge number, but there are people out there who think that sometimes you finish my sentences and that you cut across me when I'm talking. That wasn't the best example of that,
Okay.
but it was an example.
It was.
Yeah, so I'll keep talking.
Okay, I'll try not to interrupt.
The Quackers Memorial Pond Fund. It's a bit of a tongue twister, isn't it? For Quackers, and we were overwhelmed by the number of people who wanted to support this. We have raised £5,000, and we have started looking at sites for possible ponds. But we have come up against some obstacles. The first obstacle, which I hadn't appreciated, is that were we to build a new pond on an existing watercourse, we would have to go through planning permission. And that would mean putting in place not only designs and schemes, but also what's called an environmental impact assessment, which means we'd have to look at what the impact of the pond would be on the environment, also on the water flow.
So much red tape here.
And that would eat up all of the money in the fund.
We're not making this up, everybody. So can't make this up.
So that is a real challenge. So I think where we've got to is looking at a couple of locations where we're augmenting an existing area to improve it for wildlife and for ducks, etc.
And then we'll put the plaque there.
And then we'll create a plaque for Quackers in that way. But it might also be that one of the other existing ponds, either in the gardens or out on the estate, benefit from Quackers' support. And of course, we want to do that somewhere where people can visit as well, if possible. But that is the update. I'll be doing more on this in the main episodes, but it is proving quite a challenge.
And a lot of you asked, are we going to get a new Indian runner duck? And the answer is yes, if it comes to us. We're not actively searching for one now. We did have one of you contacted us through a Facebook, I think it was, and said that you had 4 male runner ducks, but we need to get a female.
We need to get a female because we've already got a male.
Yeah.
If we had 2 male,
exactly.
I think there would be feathers flying everywhere.
Yes, exactly. And so we do want to set the record straight because the press was reporting that Quackers.
He was a she.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it was a she.
Yeah, exactly.
No, she was a he.
Well, whatever.
Whichever
but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There we go.
So that's all underway, and Julie, meanwhile, has been working on other things, including planning. You can't be planning a new channel. Is that really true?
Yep, that is 2.
2 new channels. Well, okay.
Yeah, he probably doesn't know that. Anyway, should I just talk about the Tapestry project? So
we're not talking about the channel.
We will talk about the channels, but I'm going to go into the Tapestry project really quickly. So exciting news. So many of you, I think like 150 of you have signed up.
150
people sign up that you're interested in donating to the Tapestry Fund, which is very exciting. So I've just heard back from, and hopefully you've watched that video. If you haven't, do check it out. It's a wonderful video with Emma, who is the tapestry expert. She's the conservator on tapestries. So she has emailed me. I mean, it's a big project. There's lots of moving parts here and missing pieces and found pieces and stitching them together. She is coming back to me next week with a suggestion and a proposal of the cost around it and what she, again, advises that we do for these tapestries. So once I have that in hand and I can really then filter through that, I'll be able to come and film another video for everybody with the launch of the Tapestry Fund project, which is very exciting. And I'm very much looking forward to getting her.
Of course,
her proposal.
Julie wants to do a fundraise for tapestry restoration, which I applaud and agree is very important. But I am worried it might get in the way of one of my rewilding restoration projects, because I'd like to bring storks back to Mapperton. I think we might have mentioned this before, but I'm interested. Tapestries. Storks. Which way do you want to go?
Tapestries.
Let's get some feedback.
Please,
White storks. They
tapestries.
Are wonderful, wonderful animals.
300-year-old tapestries
that
have never been cleaned or
in this country.
repaired properly
They haven't
before,
made
conserved.
it yet to the west of the country.
Come on down below.
It's a really
Sign
easy
up for that
choice.
Tapestry Fund.
Life
Tapestry Fund
versus old
preservation,
moldy
heritage.
fabrics.
No, it's terrible. No. Oh my gosh, you're going to get such. Okay. Comment down below. Not a good comment. Anyway. Moving on to heritage. I
think it's both, isn't it?
On to heritage. Yeah. Just a couple of things. Last week, I was not here at Mapperton, first time in a long time, at least where I wasn't here, because I was filming for my other channel, American Viscountess. I was filming at Wellbeing Manor, home of the Rothschild family. Incredible. So that episode will be coming soon. Then I went to a conservation workshop that was run by Historic Houses. And that was up in Oxfordshire at Ditchley Park, and that was fantastic. So I learned a lot of sort of preventative conservation tips around paper, books, furniture, and paintings. And it was immensely incredible, the amount of knowledge that was sort of put upon us, and I immensely appreciated it as well. So I have a lot of notes on that I need to cipher through, but I'll be filming a scene around everybody on this channel about kind of what I learned and pieces that I'm going to look at sort of doing preventative conservation around here at Mapperton. I already have some ideas. Then I am the president of the Huntingdonshire Local History Society, and Huntingdon is the town where Hinchingbrooke is sort of there. Located, thank you. Yeah. Which is, of course, Hinchingbrooke is the original family ancestral seat, and I have been made president. And so every year I go up and give a talk, and this year was another talk on Alberta and more around the research that we've uncovered in the last year. That was fantastic. Following day, we had a child who graduated her master's program. So she graduated, so I spent the day in London going to that ceremony. And then I was the substitute for your sister. His sister is the president of the Samuel Pepys Club, but she was away. So you were deputized, and Julie gave a great speech. Now, did you film any of it? I couldn't film the speech of that. But there are some little snippets. There's a little bit, because it was filmed at the Cavalry and Guards Club. It's not filmed, it was the dinner. It was a black tie dinner. It's once a year, the Samuel Pepys Club has this big black tie dinner. Yeah. And usually the president talks. That was usually your sister, but I was the substitute. And I filmed a bit of the inside of the Cavalry and Guards Club, but I couldn't film the talk itself. I've had a really good idea. We could film you giving the talk. Oh, yeah. For our patrons. Oh, yes. And this is a really good moment just to do a little plug and a little thank you to our many patrons. These are patrons who support Mapperton monthly through their subscription and enable us to do many of the projects that we do here. If you'd like to consider becoming a patron, please do go to patreon.com/Mapperton Live. And I don't know if the speech really was that great, but the day after, the chairman emailed me and said that many people, several, not many, I'll use his exact words, several people asked if they could get a transcript of my, did you know that? Of my speech? You did tell me that. And so I think we're gonna get you to record this. Yes. And give it to our patrons. That's exactly what we're going to do. And it was on the topic of strong Montague women through the ages, in particular Alberta. Yeah, but I think people are gonna really like it. But there are one or two others. Yeah. Including this one. Well, no, I didn't put myself in that. Oh, well, I put so, and then going, sort of circling back to the channels. Because can I just say that was an action-packed week for Julie. And you were crisscrossing the country. You were doing talks here, I'd leave at like 6:30 in the morning. Off, filming, workshopping. It was one day I worked 17 hours straight. Can you just have a little bit of a pause and a deep breath? Yeah. Yeah. It was last week was a bit much. Yeah. That's probably why I have circles under my eyes. You were a little exhausted on the weekend, if we can put it like that. So yes. Pacing. It's all about pacing, isn't it? Well, then I come down here and I get really excited about projects and the new channels that I'm launching. Yeah, because that doesn't sound like pacing, as well as the book, as well as all the other things, does it? Projects keep you young, everybody. Okay, right. So tell us about the channels. Channels. So because we've been filming on the American Viscountess channel, and we film new content, all the time, and they're high quality productions. They've been compared to the BBC and to PBS. And we have these, fantastic, sort of archive episodes that, yes, if you look back at our catalog, and you have to scroll way back on the AV channel to kind of find the original season 1, season 2. But we would split them up into shorter episodes. Exactly. So, and what we've done is we've stitched them together so they become single, longer episodes. Exactly. And they're really rather wonderful, and we don't want them to gather digital dust. We want them to be out there, people enjoying them. And so Julie is launching a new channel, and it is called Castles and Tiaras. Let us know what you think of that. Castles and Tiaras, it's going to be a channel dedicated to the celebration of historic houses, their collections and their owners. And it's going to be the long form. So these would have been previously seen episodes on the AV channel, But now we've stitched a lot of them together, and they're going to be longer compilations. So you can just have them in the background. Sometimes they'll be like 3+ hours of Elizabethan homes or 3+ hours of Tudor homes, and we'll stitch some of them together so you get these marathon. And then, we're having individual. We're uploading them now. Yeah. So we have lots of individual ones. I don't know how many do we have, Chris, altogether?
50.
Yeah, something.
50.
Maybe
50. My goodness, that's quite a collection. What a celebration of historic
Yeah,
houses that
and
is.
then we can stitch longer ones together. So
wait a minute, this is because you've got your American Viscountess channel. You've got your Julie in Italy channel. You're now going to have Castles and Tiaras, and by the way, we're working on the branding for that.
Yes, we are.
Which is going to be excellent.
Polly's doing it. So
Don't tell me there's another channel.
There's one more.
Oh, good.
So because my research in Alberta, this relatively unknown American heiress, insofar as yes, Alberta's name is mentioned in books like Husband Hunters or How to Marry an English Lord. She's always sort of bundled up in with all of the other American heiresses that married in particular during that period between 1870 and 1914. She's one of those 60 that married firstborn sons during that period. But of course it's piqued my interest, having researched her, piqued my interest, and because of the amount of books that I had to read around these American heiresses for my dissertation, that I do feel pretty knowledgeable because I've read so many books around these American heiresses.
So this is going to be you sitting in front of the camera talking about it?
No. So what we're doing is we have created another channel, and you can please do subscribe. These are all now, they don't have any videos on them, but we'd love you to subscribe to Castles and Tiaras and also to what's called the Gilded Heiresses. And we've come up with a great banner, a great banner, thanks to Chris. It is great. And I had some input around that. I knew what I wanted, but he's been very good at sort of making sure it took shape. And this will be us putting together sort of B-roll of past photos, past B-roll that we can use, because how the copyright works is it's 70 years. So remember, I'm talking about a period between 1870 and 1914. And it will be a voiceover. So I have my
period
first...
when there wasn't a huge amount of home videoing going on.
No.
So is there very much archive from that
Yeah,
period?
there is actually. There is.
I mean, there are photos.
Yeah, we can Ken Burns those through and make them really pretty.
She just used a technical term there. Ken Burns means it's what we used to call rostrum. So it's when you have a photo within a video, and it moves slowly across it, or it zooms in and out. That's called a Ken Burns effect.
Ken Burns effect.
That was just a little side note.
But they called it rostrum. I just only know it as Ken Burns. That means I'm much younger than you. Is that right? Chris, do you call it Ken Burns effect?
No, it's a move.
It's called a move. Yeah.
It's called
for the next gen. It's just a move.
Just a move. A move. I'll remember that.
Right,
so
Julie,
it's going to be to my voice.
Say,
it's going to be to my voice. So it's a voiceover. So I will be hosting it.
Okay.
And I've written the first script. I'm quite pleased with it. We're probably going to do the voiceover later today, and that's going to be launching very soon. So do hit subscribe to Castles and Tiaras and to the Gilded Heiresses.
Well,
and what's about your channel?
I'm exhausted just hearing about all the things that Julie is taking on. So
projects keep you young.
So I'm glad that projects keep you young. Well, I only have one new channel coming, which people will have heard about in the past because we've been talking about it for ages. I feel that it's getting closer, but it's not yet even got a title. But it is going to be about rewilding at Mapperton and beyond. In fact, that could be the title.
It's too long, though.
Rewilding at Mapperton and beyond. I like it.
You said you didn't want rewilding.
I know, but I keep changing my mind. This is part of the reason we haven't launched it, is I change my mind all the time. I keep thinking it's not just about Mapperton.
What do you think, Chris? Rewilding.
I'm hoping someone watching has got a good idea.
Oh,
good idea.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Please comment down below because he's unsure of his titles.
So
let us know.
What we're going to do for this channel is we're going to take all of our existing rewilding content, because there's a lot of it. A lot of it hasn't been seen. And we're going, again, to stitch together, potentially with new voiceover, new episodes that combine things from the past. And then we will start to create new content as well. And one of the things that is fantastic about this is that it overlaps with Julie's American Viscountess series, because she is often out at other people's houses and estates where they have
Yes.
rewilding and nature conservation
And we're filming
projects, and you are filming that. We can take some of that content as well. What it also means, because the way YouTube works, is that people tend to subscribe to a channel based on some specific thing about the channel that they like. Now, in many cases, that might be Julie. In 1 or 2 cases, it could even be me, but it's much more likely to be her.
It's definitely you.
And or it's because they like country houses, historic houses, or in Julie's case, it's because they like learning about American heiresses. That's going to be your Gilded Heiresses channel. So these are the reasons that people subscribe. Most people don't subscribe to Mapperton Live because of their interest in nature recovery. Having said that, there's a lot of people out there who are really interested in nature recovery. And so this is a chance, nature recovery and rewilding, this is a chance to have a dedicated channel which will suddenly appeal to people who may not want all of the country house stuff as well. And they might want less of me, and dare I say it, less of you. So we might end up with somebody new coming to help front and present some of the programs there. Anyway, let us know what you think. We've been talking about it for a while. We're still looking for a channel name.
Yeah, comment down below. Channel name, everybody.
We're getting closer.
Well, how are you, what with rewilding at Mapperton and beyond?
Or could we just rewilding Mapperton
We would
and beyond?
Literally, we do take on board what you.
You like that one, don't you?
I like and beyond.
Yeah,
I like that.
isn't there there's a children's toy that goes and beyond, isn't there?
It's Buzz Lightyear.
Buzz Lightyear.
He's so old.
Buzz Lightyear. So there we go.
To infinity and beyond.
We are emulating Buzz Lightyear with our new Mapperton Rewilding channel. It's bound to be a success on those bases. Well, I think
I know I've got one more thing.
We've on for long enough.
We
People
do,
are gonna
but
be
one
bored
more
by
thing
now.
I do want to mention is that we do have these holiday cottages that are on, Airbnb, or you can just go to mapperton.com/stay, and the new Coatley farmhouse will be up next year. But it's lovely to come here in the winter, and what we're going to start to do through, because a lot of it gets booked through Airbnb and a couple other platforms, is it is lovely in the winter, but of course a lot of people don't holiday in the winter. So we're going to be looking at ways to sort of make, come and stay for 3 nights, get your 4th night free. So we're working on that right now in the off period.
What Julie's basically saying is those cottages are wonderful.
Yeah.
They're mostly empty at the moment. You'd be mad not to come and stay with us, and we'll give you a good deal.
That's exactly right.
That's what you're saying.
And if you haven't booked in for our Christmas fair, I don't know if the Christmas fair cottages are booked.
She's plugging everything
It's the 23rd and 24th
People
of
are going to be
November.
exhausted, all the things they've got to do. They've got to subscribe to all your channels. They've got to stay at the cottages. They've got to buy tickets.
We
to
love
the
our
Christmas
community,
fair.
though. We love our
they
community.
may not love us as much as we think, though.
Comment down below.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
See you later.